Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by once again. My name is Pammy T, and you are always welcome to stop by. Now, when it comes to the government of national unity, let's be honest and let's take it back a bit. President Cyril Ramaphosa himself is not happy about what's going on. I mean, just imagine running something on your own for the past 5 years. Running it, being the sole decision maker. Obviously, he's got his minister. Obviously, he had his cabinet. He had all those. But he was, at the end of the day, the sole decision maker. He was the face of South Africa, the president of South Africa. And now, having to share that responsibility with other people from other political parties, having to make decisions not alone, but involving other political party leaders as well, that really can't be easy for him. That's not a decision that he wanted. If he had a choice, he would still be running South Africa on his own, or rather with his own political party, the African National Congress. So this change of having to move from being a solo party into having to be a government of national unity where other political parties are involved and the voice and view of other political parties actually matters, that can't be a comfortable position for President Ramaphosa.
They haven't consulted us, and the ANC must realize that they don't take all the decisions anymore. They didn't win the election.
But anyways, moving from that, today I want us to take a look at the two latest members of the Government of National Unity. Okay, the first interview that we're going to be listening to is that of Mr. Bantu Holomisa. Now, Ubantu Holomisa is the president of the UDM, the United Democratic Movement political party. Let's take a listen to what he has to say.
For your information, the EFF said they would join the GNU. And such a decision by them would test the ANC and the ANC, who is honest amongst them. So, I don't want to get into details. So we have never closed the door. It's not a sellout position. We are interpreting the decision of the voters. Voters said no one party state anymore. Go and talk and form a government. The caucus, when they said they are talking about getting involved into the GNU, we wanted to know what kind of animal will this be. We also questioned as to if the main opposition party, because it's about numbers now, if the main opposition party is part of the government, who would be taking the role of official opposition? So I guess, therefore, you have big guns which are waiting to get into that space. They've already said they are not interested to get into the GNU like the MK. So they would easily occupy, they are the third largest, is it not so? Well, the DA is out of order. The founders of the GNU are none other than the voters of this country. The ANC, DA, EFF, and MK at the beginning did talk to each other. We were expecting that they would announce that they are forming a coalition government. But when they could not agree, the ANC, NEC intervened and said there will be NGU instead of coalition. So that meant, therefore, that all political parties are expected to contribute. So the so-called statement of intent, which they claim to have been the founders of it, we say bring it back, tabled in front of the 18 political parties represented in parliament.
So Ubantu Holomisa at the end of the day did what he found right or what he saw right for his political party. By no means does he see himself as a sellout by joining the Government of National Unity. All right, moving along from the UDM and Ubantu Holomisa, let's move to RISE Mzansi, that political party, and let's hear from Mr. Songe Zizibi Uguti what his view are and how he feels about having joined the Government of National Unity.
Much for having me on. No, the decision was made last night by the RISE Mzansi National Leadership Collective. We, however, had been in discussions with various political parties, including the ANC, in order to inform the decision that we knew we'd need to make by yesterday. So the decision was made yesterday in Parliament, where we are going to be able to make a difference and make sure that the issues that we campaigned on, the issues of hunger, the issues of spatial justice, housing, and so on, are placed firmly on the agenda of wherever we're going to be. The second is to be in an arrangement where constitutional principles and constitutional values are respected. But to engage in consultations, because the GNU was never the only option that there was there on the table. So we had to consult widely within political parties and outside political parties in order to make an informed decision. Look, I mean, and options are not necessarily off the table either. So we could, for instance, have decided not to be in any caucus whatsoever, right? And just act on our own as a two-person caucus. Practically, it's really difficult to make a difference as just two people in the National Assembly and one person in Gauteng, because you can't be in the committees and so on. So you have to, in that position, look for other political parties with whom you are going to collaborate. Anyway, and so we started a process of consultations with a lot of parties, most of whom have ended up in the GNU anyway, but those consultations were on a bilateral basis, and the discussion with the ANC was also on a bilateral basis. And at the end of it, we took a decision that we are going to be part of the GNU in Parliament.
Now, with everything said and done, I really, really wish this Government of National Unity works. I wish it would work for South Africa. I am hoping, I've got my fingers crossed, it needs to work for South Africa. But I'm just thinking, should it happen that all these political parties, all these 10 political parties start raising their heads and start really making demands, and I don't know, I just have this fear. Rather than that, as a South African living in South Africa, I really truly hope that this Government of National Unity works. It works for its South African people. That's all. That's basically what the bottom line is about. All right, dolls. I'll see you again next time. Please take care.